And that's why we don't do a lot of live stuff. I don't know. I don't know how to fix it. Can see and hear you, but no screen. Yeah, that's what I thought.
If you stop the live stream and restart it.
No. Now, hopefully now you can see me and the live stream and the screen, I would hope. Did that work? I just got to draw it by hand. Well, I wish I were that talented, guys.
Well, so obviously they can hear you, right?
Yeah.
What is that?
We can see you in the screen. Awesome. Okay, cool. So maybe we're going to get this thing after all. Okay, so here we go. All right, perfect. So I'm going to pretend that everything's okay and just go on because I'll record this regardless of what happens and send it to you if we can't see it anymore. Okay. So, so I'm in Mid Journey and I'm in a Discord. And what I did before, most people start using Discord, using Mid Journey in a Discord channel like this. And when you do that, this is a public channel. So you have to put your stuff in and then wait for everybody else's stuff to go by. And it's not a bad way to learn because when you're doing this, you go in and just put in your prompts and you wait for the thing to come up in the public channel. So you have a public channel down here. This is the general 1, 2, 3s. You have to be a subscriber for that, or you can go to the beginner channels. And you'll just type in your prompt and a thing will happen. But I'm going to show you how to set up your own channel in a second where you don't have to do this. So let's go here. And there are really only 3 prompts that matter in Mid Journey, 3 settings that matter. And they all start with a /. So you do / imagine. And let's just create something interesting here, like dog playing poker. We're going to do dog playing poker. And it's going to create me an image of a dog playing poker. Now, here's the downside to using Mid Journey this way. When you're using Mid Journey this way, you see all these images rolling by. Those are other people's images and designs. Now, the good news of that is that you can kind of see what other people are doing and how they're prompting the application. And it's sort of fun because I learned a lot when I first started about prompting based on what I saw other people doing. But in a minute, you'll see my thing will pop up into here. It's not super duper fast, and it'll give me a little notification. See these little red dots to the left? When I get a red dot that pops up here, I'm going to know that my thing is ready for me to see, right? And it's going to give me my dog playing poker. I don't know when it'll give it to me, but it'll give it to me. These channels take longer generally to generate your image than the other channels do because they're generating for so many other people. And I am on a paid account. So to start with Mid Journey, you can use Mid Journey absolutely for free. It's just kind of slow, and you have to use it through these public channels. And there are certain limitations of things that you can't do. The $20 account, I think it's $20 or $10, a very little money, generates you about 200 or 300 really high resolution images a month for that money. I use an overage of that now. I think I bought the $30 or $39 account now where I can get hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. It's a ton. They don't cost hardly anything. And if you're using much in the way of stock imagery, or if you're buying stuff from iStock Photo or any of that, you're way better off. You're way better off to buy this anyway, right? So let's see, dogs playing poker. I don't even know if I'll get this because I think it got so lost in the channel. Try it one more time. In this setting, this is general number 5, dogs poker. We're going to keep this theme because I want to show you the differences as you go through the different settings and whatnot. But so the way that this platform works, oh, there's general. So I think my dog playing poker just showed up. Looks like it did. The thing about this that really sucks, they go by so fast in the general channels that if you don't grab your image really, really quick, it'll be so far gone by the time you get it There we go. So this was my prompt. I just typed in dogs playing poker and you see what I got here, right? That's pretty cool. Not bad. You can view this in the browser to make it bigger. So when we view it in the browser, you can see how big that image got. And I haven't upscaled yet. So I'll explain upscaling over in another channel. But that's the general idea of how Discord works now, or how Mid Journey works. So let's make it a better experience. So what you can do to make it a better experience is to create your own channel. So let's go over here and I'm going to call this, we're going to create a new channel, and we're going to call this new channel, for me and my friends, we're going to call this YouTube Demo. Okay. I'm going to create a YouTube demo. And now this is an empty Discord channel. There's nothing in here yet. So it says here, add your first app. So I'm going to go to here and I want to add an app. So check it out, introducing the app directory. And the app that I want to use first, the app I want to install is Mid Journey. This is how easy this is. And this just eludes most people, but there it is. So I'm going to click that and I'm going to say add to server. So it knows me, it knows my account because it ties your account to your Discord. So click here and authorize that. I am a human. And it's authorizing me. So now what's really cool about that is, now that that's authorized, I can close this out and I'm in my channel. And now Mid Journey bot is in this channel. So I don't have all that other noise of a bunch of other people in there. So I can just type /imagine and let's do dogs playing poker. Now this is a very, very, very basic prompt. We're going to get into much more advanced prompting in a minute, but I want to start you guys off really, really simple. So you'll notice that we don't have to watch all this other crap go by while it's making our thing, right? And you're going to see that this is it'll probably take 30 seconds or so, and you'll see sort of a blurry image. And then you kind of watch the image take form once it starts running. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer. It depends on how busy the servers are, but generally speaking, not very long. You can have 4 prompts in to a channel at any given time. So in other words, you can start an image, start another one, but the 4th one that you start, it's going to queue that image up and it's not going to start processing that image until one of the ones above it has rotated out. So we'll give this a second. So the way that I understand that this works, and the truth is it doesn't matter how it works. It just matters that it does work. The way that I understand that it works, this thing has eaten hundreds of millions of images and used a text-based AI to understand what those images are. And I'm going to show you a feature in a couple of minutes where you can reverse engineer any image back into Mid Journey to make your own version of that. And my experience with that so far has been the version of the images that get created from what you upload to Mid Journey are much, much, much better in most cases than the original. I just did one a few minutes ago, sitting at a breakfast restaurant, and I'm going to show you that example because it's in my images channel. So, but I just want to show you how to create your own channel in here first. I wish it were a little bit faster today. I think we're running slow. I can do let me put my settings. I can go here and change my settings, /settings. And I'm going to turn my settings on fast if it's not already on fast. Okay, I'm going to turn mine on fast mode while we're doing this demo. And now everything that I do will be a little bit faster because I had it on the normal mode, because fast mode costs you a little bit more in processing time. So that's how that's how you change your settings. If you want default settings in here, you can set default settings. Okay. You see our image is starting to form. This is the most exciting part, by the way, is just watching the image as it forms. I'm going to show you some really cool features that you can do that a lot of people don't understand. These are pretty basic features, but some people just don't get how they work. So here's our 4 images of dogs playing poker. We're 93% finished. And you'll notice to the right, it says relaxed. What that means is it's not on fast mode. So it'll take 2 or 3 minutes to make your images versus taking, say, 30 seconds on fast mode. So you'll see in a minute, we'll be on fast mode from now on, so it'll be a lot faster. But let's see what it gave us. So I'm going to blow these up a little bit. And here are the images that it gave us. It gave us some really cool images without having hardly any instruction at all. I could have told it to be more photorealistic. I could have told it to make it an oil painting. I could have told it to make it a velvet painting like those Elvis paintings. But we'll open it up so you can, the first graphics you get, you're going to get them 4 up, right? And then when you hit them with a browser, you click here for the browser view, it's going to give you a much higher resolution image. So you can see that this is going to give me a much better preview of what these images are going to look like. So the reason it gives you 4 is so you'll have choices, right? You have choices. So I'm going to close that window out and go back to the browser now, or go back to Discord now. Gosh dog it. Yeah, there we go. And if I like one of these, so let's say I like this bottom left corner one, right? That's the one out of all of them that I like the best, let's say. There are 2 rows down here, and to understand what those rows do is kind of important. This means upscale. So upscale means give me a bigger, better version of the one that I like the most. So the way it works, if you can see my mouse, this is photo number 1, this is photo number 2, this is image number 3, this is image number 4. So if I like this one, I want to upscale number 3. So I'm going to hit upscale 3. And it's going to run an upscale. So it's going to give me a big version of that, right? So now I have a much higher resolution image of just that one image. So when I open that in the browser, I'm going to get even a more detailed view of what that's going to look like, right? Now, they just added a feature in Mid Journey. I don't know if they just added it, but I just noticed it the other day. Doggone it, I keep going backwards. That I thought is really, really cool. You see this button here. Well, let me explain this first. If you like this, but it's not exactly what you want, you can say, make me variations of this one image. So it'll make you some variations of just that one image to give you the variations will be closer to that one image. So it's one of the ways that you refine down what you want. So you picked the 1 out of the 4. Now out of that 1, we're going to do 4 more variations of that 1. So you can try to find one that you really, really like. Do you notice, by the way, how much faster that we process this time? Because I'm on the fast process. And if you're thinking, well, I don't care about making art, that's not my business. That's okay for now, but keep an open mind. I'm going to show you how to do a lot more than this with this than just make art. Okay. So let's look at these now and see, maybe there's one of these variations that we like better than the others. They're going to be pretty similar, by the way, but you'll notice like this dog's in a different place now than this dog. The colorations are a little bit different. The lighting's a little bit different. The background's a little bit different. So let's say that I like this one, this top left one. That's my top right one now, right? So I'm going to go back to that, and I want the top right. Well, that would be number 1, 2, right? So I'm going to upscale number 2. And it's going to give me a bigger version of that, so I get a high resolution image. Now, I found a feature that I didn't know existed until the other day. I've always opened to here and then grabbed the image. Well, if you hit web right here, it's going to open this image in the web at its highest resolution, which is about 2000 by 2000. So it's going to be a really high res image that's good for most printing. And before we get off today, I'm going to show you how to take that and make it an 8000 by 8000 super high resolution image that can be printed at an art scale level. And most people don't know that trick. So, but right here, I'm going to say, yep. And it's going to take me to the web, and it's going to show me my image on the web. And you'll see as I zoom in how high the resolution of that image is. It's really, really, really high. But here's a feature. I never scrolled down, so I never knew this. It's going to read this image, and it's going to find other people who have ran a version of this image, and it's going to show me what they produce. So all you do is scroll down, and you'll see, this is so much better than mine. Here's their version of dogs playing poker. So, but look at the difference in the prompt: digital realistic painting of dogs playing poker. So now you can either grab that image or grab that prompt and go make your own image. Here's another version that was more of a cartoon version. So you might see various versions of this you really like a lot better than your own version. And if you do, you can just grab that prompt and kind of recreate it, right? So this was pretty funny. Gary Larson. So this was a feature that I didn't know existed. So hopefully you find that useful. So every time I do an image now, when I'm finished with it and I pick the one I want, I go back and look at what other people have done. Like I like this one a lot. That one's pretty cool. All these would be fun to print and put up in a man cave or whatever. But we'll get out of there for now. So hopefully that gives you an idea of how very, very basic prompting works and how you can set up your own Discord channel so that you don't have to watch everybody else's crap go by. Because I'm going to hop over here, if I don't break something, to YouTube for a second and see if there are any current questions. Hold on. Let me see. Yeah. Let me go to YouTube and see if there are any current questions in the chat. Are there any questions so far? I'm in the chat right now, so I can see your chat. There's 64 of you guys in. Congratulations. I'm glad you're here. No sound now. Somebody says, great. Every time I move, something breaks. Well, let me just go back then. Can prompts have copyrights? Someone asked. Hold on. Let's see. So we're good there. Hopefully you guys can hear me now. The mic is not muted. And I'm going to close this back out and go back to where I was, because this seemed to be working pretty well. I don't know if prompts can be copywritten. I kind of don't think so, but they may be. I'm not a lawyer. I would never want to give you any form of legal advice at all. So please, please don't ask, because I'm sure that I would screw that up. But I don't know. I really don't know. I don't believe so. I think generally speaking, prompts are some of the more complicated prompts maybe, and there probably will be a legal challenge on that at some time, but I'm not sure. Okay, so now that I've shown you basically how to set up, how easy Mid Journey is to set up. And by the way, when you start using Mid Journey for free, after you use it for a certain period of time, you're going to get a pop-up that says you've used up all your free credits. Do you want to have a pro account now? And if you say, yes, I want a pro account, then you can go grab a pro account. And I think the cheapest one's $10, but it may go as high as $20 for $20 or $30. And then they have an API too. So you can do this via API if you want to. Okay. Hopefully you guys are hearing me now. I'm going to see if there's any way that I can tell. I don't know if I can tell if you guys can hear me or not. Let's see. We hear you. Okay, cool. All right. So I'm gonna not do that again. I'm just gonna close that out so I don't get in that mess again. Okay. So here we are. Let me see. Yeah, seems like I need to be in StreamYard in order for you guys to hear me. Okay. Okay. So now we're gonna go over here now, and I'm gonna show you my channel. So this is my Perry Images channel. So I created this image just to create Mid Journey images in. And I did all my images before this, I did in public channels, which kind of sucks because you got to wait for everybody's stuff to go by, but also you have to wait for everybody else sees your prompts. So in your own private channel, people don't necessarily see your prompts. So you can turn on a public mode or private mode. But the first thing I wanted to do, we sell a lot of t-shirts. So the first thing that I wanted to do the day that I opened this channel was create some models. So here's an idea for you. If you need models in your business to show off, everything going okay, Chad? Okay. So if you want Hey, Chad, do you mind hanging in here? So if there's a question that comes up, you can tell me about, because I can't see the chat. Every time I go over to see the chat, it cuts my sound off. Yeah, thanks. Okay, so yeah. So I just wanted models, right? We wanted unusual t-shirt models. So this was the first thing I did. I grabbed a prompt from a website called Prompt Base, and I'm going to show you how to do that in a second. And these prompts have variations in them. These are prompt frameworks. So you'll see here, this prompt is professional mock-up photo of a white American female, age 40, wearing a Bella canvas. I can put the brand in there. White t-shirt, hyper realistic, full body, facing camera, showing t-shirt, studio lighting, volumetric lighting. You know what all this stuff means? I don't have any idea, but I bought that prompt for $2. And I'm going to show you how you can buy those prompts. And then you own that prompt forever. You create 1 million images with that prompt for $2. So you don't really have to learn how to be a prompt engineer. And now you really don't have to. And I'll show you why in a minute. Okay. So you can see here, it gave me 4 different images of her. And I don't know, I wasn't just thrilled with any of them, but the guys were much better. So I took the same prompt and replaced some of the stuff with a 40-year-old muscular tattooed guy wearing a next level black t-shirt, hyper realistic, same kind of thing. And I really did like a lot of the stuff that I got there, because I'm serving the men's market, the tattoo market, right? You can kind of see. So gave me some pretty good prompts there. But one of those guys has got his arms crossed. He's not going to be a good t-shirt model. But this next variation was. So what I did here, I didn't really like these. So I just hit this button right here, which is interesting. And it gives me a whole new set of variations. It gives me a brand new set of 4. So this set of 4, I really like. So I upscale number 1, number 3, and I asked for variations of number 1. So you can see number 1, that was my upscale number 1. And then this was my upscale number 3. And this was my variation of number 3. So I can go back and upscale any of these. Now, just know that every time you hit that button to generate another image, that's a credit taken away from your account. But like I said, you're only talking about maybe a couple of pennies an image. It's very little money to generate the images compared to what stock photography costs. And remember, this is yours. You can copyright this work. And if somebody uses it, you can sue them, or you can license this photo out to other people. There's really so many opportunities here for licensing stock photography. So that's one way you could make money here. And you're probably already thinking, yeah, well, there's going to be no future in that because everybody's doing this now. Listen, less than 1/3 of 1% of internet users use ChatGPT. A much, much, much smaller version of that, and much, much, much smaller number of those people are using Mid Journey. So the ship has definitely not sailed. There are people making a fortune on Fiverr right now, just putting up $5, $10, $20 gigs and producing stuff in Mid Journey like this for a penny or two a gig, right? So next I was just playing around. I said, well, I'm Nike shoe, modern, different materials, high res. And it gave me all these crazy shoe designs, right? That was just to play with. I wanted to show you there. What's cool about this is most people don't think you could design physical products with Mid Journey, but you absolutely can. Next, I bought another prompt because I wanted to understand how to make vector images, right? So vector illustration, logo, sports team, mascot. And I started creating mascots in there. And you can see how bold and how really, really sharp these things are. And I take these over. Let me show you a little trick while I'm in here. If you take this image and save it, I'm going to save that image. And let me see, ape loads, save that to my desktop, right? And I use another application called Vectorizer. Because a lot of people say, well, I don't like using Mid Journey because it doesn't do words very well, and it doesn't do words very well. Or the images are not editable when you get them. And that's absolutely true. But watch this. if you go here, I take this and I drop this into Vectorizer. Vectorizer is going to vectorize, as its name implies, it's going to vectorize that image. So watch what happens. This is the image we uploaded, and then it redraws the image. Now, when I download this image, it is a fully editable, fully scalable. In other words, I could blow this thing up to the size of a billboard, vector image, right? Super, super cool. See how pixelated this is over here? And see now how all the pixels are, excuse me, completely gone. That's what Vectorizer does. And I don't think very many people know about Vectorizer. So anyway, so I created vector images in here. Next, I decided, what if I started designing jewelry again? Because I used to be in the jewelry business. And this was one of the most fascinating things I've seen done here. You'll see here, I just put in a very simple prompt, men's ring, Gothic silver, version 5. Now, what V5 means is version 5. So at the time, up to about right here, the only version you could use, I think, was maybe, now these are all version 5. They had just started version 5 when I opened this channel. Before it was version 4, and it wasn't nearly as good. But look at the quality and the detail in this silver Gothic jewelry. I can take this jewelry and do two things with it now. I can take this jewelry over to Blender in Google and ask Blender to render me a 3D image of the jewelry. I can actually ask Mid Journey to make me different perspectives, shots from different angles, change the lighting, change the angle, and get as many images of each one of these as I can. Take it over to Blender, have Blender create me a 3D model, and then I could print it on a 3D printer out here in the shop. We have 4 of them. A 3D printer now is only about $500. And I could make it out of plastic, so I'd have a model to send off to a caster. Or I can just send these images to China, and my jewelry supplier in China will just take these images and create me a prototype for about $50. And if I like the prototype, I can buy rings like this that I custom designed in stainless steel or get them silver plated for about $2 a ring. If I want them in solid sterling, they're more, because you're going to pay for the metal itself. But again, just opening your mind a little bit of what you can do with this software that you wouldn't think you could do with it. Next, I was just playing, I just wanted to do prototypes, folding electric bicycle prototype or mattress packaging prototypes. This one was interesting. I wanted to create an upscale cosmetic line. That's the only prompt I used. I was a very basic prompter here. And you'll notice how my prompts are getting more and more advanced. But look at this. I just typed those few words in, and it gave me these variations on an upscale cosmetics line. Now, these designs aren't usable as a set, but if you've got a graphic artist and you're trying to communicate with a graphic artist, the best way to communicate with a graphic artist is visually. So if you give them an idea what you want, you'll get there a whole lot quicker. I chose this one. We upscaled that. This is really interesting for our survival business. We're designing Hoffman Richter knives now inside Mid Journey. So you can see here the knife designs that we're coming up with. When we find there's 2 different sets of these, and we finally settled this is the one that we like the most, and we've sent it over to China for prototype. I wanted to know if I could design the packaging for the shoes that I made up here. So I gave it a little bit of prompting and asked for packaging for the shoes, and it gave me packaging. So if you guys are Amazon sellers or what have you, you can design all your packaging in here, not just your products, right? So next I wanted some real humans. I did these shoes. These are kind of cool shoes. I thought it would be fun to do some velvet shoes. These are kind of a silly little thing. Now, I really wanted to have, we've got a tennis brand we're starting. So I wanted some models for the tennis brand. I didn't want to pay for models. So I found a prompt on PromptBase that's very human, that's photorealistic human. And look, it's like ISO sensitive, 32,000 shutter speed, 8,000 second, the resolution, the f-stop, the lens, the camera, all that stuff. And it produced me these images. And when you look at them, you'll realize they're pretty doggone photorealistic. And now there's a new version of Mid Journey out that's even better. and I'll show you that in a second. So, okay. So, this is the one I ended up choosing and upscaled. And you can see over time, we did close-ups on the tennis players, and really found the ones we really, really, really wanted. And Chad, can I ask you a huge favor? Could you pour me some water in a cup? I'm dying over here. Thank you. Okay. So moving on, just to try to figure out things that we could do. I've got some clients that are in the construction remodeling business, interior design business. So I just wanted to see, could I just create an interior design? I bought a prompt at PromptBase for $2 or $3 and changed some variables. And these were some designs, some room designs that it came up with just in a matter of a few seconds. Continuing on, I want to skip this one for now. That was an artistic rendering. I'm making more t-shirts. You can see this kind of random because this is my actual feed that I use. I wanted an Indian model. I wanted somebody that wasn't that wasn't considered a model to model some of my t-shirts. I was creating world tour posters. That was an abstract. This was kind of fun. So I did this for a friend of mine that has a French bulldog. So you can kind of see we ended up with this variation. These pet portraits are a really fun thing to sell. It would make a great Fiverr gig. That'll turn your pet into a kung fu dog for just $10. I promise you sell plenty of those. I'm going to skip this part right now. I'll show you how that works in a little bit. Thank you very much. This got a little interesting. For a brand that we were doing, a Western brand that we're doing, I'm trying to create writers and characters. So using that same prompt, the same prompt I made the tennis player with, I just changed some of the variables. And guess what I got next? I got a cowboy, and I didn't want the face to show. I particularly said, don't show the face in the prompt. This one, I did show the face, and you can kind of see the cowboys that it created, right? And I actually chose that guy. This was a 60-year-old attractive fit man smiling because I wanted to do this for a fitness brand, right? So you can see those. If you want to create these models, now let me show you something that's weird about Mid Journey. So be sure to look at your images before you use them. This guy was great, right? Except look at this. He's got these like growths on his shoulder, and it just weirdly put those into place. But you can almost tell by his redness in his neck, he's either been working out or he's eating too much testosterone or shooting too much testosterone. But keep in mind, guys, this is not a human being. This person was created by this AI technology. So we ended up pulling a bunch of these guys. I forget which one we actually chose to use, but like you can see, this one's really good. The bottom right one's pretty good for just having a older guy on a cattle ranch. Looks like a nice guy. The Asian guys look a little odd in cowboy gear. But hey, who's counting? So we'll go back here. Again, more jewelry design I was working on. This was really fun. I started doing this, and these didn't come out very well, but I got a better prompt, and I've got some food stuff I'll show you in a minute. As I got better and better at prompting, wanting models for an office setting, look at this. We started pulling these full body models for office setting, and these really would be hard to tell they're not human beings. It would be really, really, really hard to tell. So we're creating all of our own clip art now. We don't need to buy any stock photography. We don't get sued for stock photography anymore, which we used to all the time. I've probably paid $200,000 in lawsuits over the years. We've designed product now. This is a waterproof lighter design that we came up with in Mid Journey. This is a flashlight design that we came up in Mid Journey. You can see this is the final lighter design that we sent to China to have fabricated. These were chess pieces for a Game of Thrones. Salt shakers. Game of Thrones salt shakers. I don't know why I chose this particular model. I can't remember. I was probably just experimenting with the prompt. More of the office people. Now, here's where it got a little bit more interesting. I wanted to start creating avatars, people to write for my various brands. And we own makeuptutorials.com. So I wanted all these different, I've always wanted to have this whole staff of writers. And now we use AI to do all the writing, but we need a person behind it. I always wanted a staff of makeup artists. So I wanted an Asian makeup artist, Hispanic makeup artist, a blonde makeup artist, a African-American makeup artist, all that. So I just started inventing them. Okay. So look at this prompt. You can see it. I've got I'm using that same prompt that we're using to make the tennis player, but I changed the setting. It's a 40-year-old Asian female brunette, makeup chair, smiling, photography. And look, isn't this great? So this gives me my first option for my Asian makeup artist. I think I said in the prompt, they needed to have great skin, but like, look at this lady. It's beautiful. She does not exist, guys. She does not exist. This is total fabrication from an AI. Okay. So as I kept going, I started creating more and more of these makeup models. So this is my blonde makeup model, but I liked the picture of her in close up for her writer profile, but I really wanted her in the setting of a makeup studio. So look, I put her here on a film studio. So here she is with a film studio in the background. A couple of these, still a little too close up. I wanted a handsome blonde guy as a makeup artist, right? This was for our survival preparedness brand. I wanted a rugged looking 50-year-old guy with a beard on a campground. And look at what it gave me. We chose one of these now that we're using as one of our spokespeople. These were celebrities on a red carpet, right, for an actor thing. But these were more Asian makeup artists, more survival people. These didn't come out well because I did them from an image on a golf course. They're not doing really well with images right now as an upload. Let me see. Some of this stuff is just going to be weird, random. Like this was for DIY projects. I said, give me a close of a handsome handyman repairing a sink, right? So this was for a sink repair post for DIY projects because we don't have a guy. All of our writers on DIY projects are women. I wanted a guy to write about home repairs. So now I have a guy, and I'll show you how I create a psychological profile on him in a minute in ChatGPT so that all of our writing can be done by this particular avatar. I'm creating seals here for some of our associations. You can see this is going to be a survival seal. We've got a new fishing brand. So now when we create a new brand, I just go out and create a new avatar. So this is our fishing avatar. This is our guide. This is our fishing guide for our fishing website. So I don't have to pay these people anymore. We really don't. Look at that. It looks like Jeff Bezos as a fishing guy. Weird. We didn't use that one. So this was some food stuff we were trying, and I fooled around for a while until I really got, look at this, grilled cheese sandwich. So if you want a little small business idea, imagine that you went around and did a virtual food photography for restaurants, for menus, especially for digital menus. We're selling signage in one of our businesses, Graphics Mart. So when we sell digital signage or digital menus now, everybody else can buy the digital menu from anyone. They buy it from us, they buy it from someone else. These are these big, LED boards that are like $4,000 a board. So we offer the benefit of we'll do all your food photography for free if you'll buy your boards from us, which gives us a huge advantage. So you can start thinking about, like if you're selling swimming pools, you can show people what their backyard's going to look like. If you're selling furniture or painting or remodeling services, you could give them ideas and inspiration that you create here versus the other guy that shows up with his butt crack hanging out of his underwear and tries to draw out what you want on a legal pad, right? Yeah, look at how delicious this looks. I mean, it's crazy, just delicious. And then I went over and I thought, well, let's get weird and see how well it does. I said, give me a grilled cheese pear sandwich. Sure enough, there we go. And it even knew what kind of cheese to pair, which is kind of crazy because this is a recipe. There were some recipes online for a pear and grilled cheese sandwich, but you use, I think it's Gruyere or something like that. I forget how you pronounce that. And it didn't use cheddar cheese or American cheese. It knew what cheese to use to make the sandwich. How crazy is that? And even put a pear in the background just for ambiance, right? This is I wanted an African American makeup artist. I think I chose this lady here because her complexion was just so beautiful. Yeah, I did. So she's my African American makeup artist. Still back on the Asian makeup artist a little bit. I wasn't real satisfied with that. Here is Hispanic makeup artist, right? And I actually ended up liking this lady here who had like festival or theater makeup on, right? I thought she was a more interesting character. I wanted a redhead makeup artist. I wanted an 18-year-old Jeffree Star type white gay male makeup artist. And it gave me this guy, right? You know, let me see. Yeah, looking at pets. We're doing a whole line of pets right now on one of our sites where we're doing 1,700 different dog breeds. I think it is, or 1,100 or 1,700 dog breeds. All the images for the website are created here. So we just put in French Bulldog Puppy version 5, but since I found a way better prompt. Now, finally, I got down to where I got the setting exactly the way I wanted it for my makeup artist. So look how cool this is now, where I'm actually putting the makeup artist full body or half body in the studio, right? So the setting makes a big difference in how true this person is going to look, right? So if I go there and open them up, even zooming in, it's pretty doggone good, right? You see that these look really, really natural. They look really confident. They look like they look the part, right? Okay. So there's a bunch of those. So I started putting my survival guy in different settings. I got him in a campground outside. He's the one that we end up choosing there. I started doing some mascots. These are really cute. This was from a prompt that I also bought from Prompt Base, and I'll show you guys how to use Prompt Base in a minute. Back to the tennis people. These, I'll show you the finished product of this if I can find images for it, but we're printing blankets now outside. So I came up with the idea of taking a floral setting and putting a greeting card message in it and making greeting card blankets. All the art's done on here. We don't have to look at all these. They're just very little, just watercolor orchid foliage, yada, yada, backgrounds. Yeah, we might want to. I can show them some of those. Yeah. These are some of the ones that you'll see the finished products we made of these in a minute. Chad's going to run and grab those. We make name jewelry. So we were looking for, we've made the name jewelry that's like scroll like this. We want to start making the circles. So we ask it to design circular name jewelry for us. And look at that. That's what we got. Beautiful, beautiful work. So I just wanted to open your mind up. That's not just creating a picture, right? That really makes things happen. These were I was looking for some ways to display the blankets. I didn't really find those that useful. Some things don't work perfectly. My daughter was on a cruise last week, and she sent me some art from the cruise. And she said, I love this guy's art. I wasn't that into the art, but she took me this picture. She said, I love this guy's art. I want to make art. Can you make art like this? So this is where I use something brand new. It's a new feature called Describe. And I'll show you how it works again at the end. But all you do is take any image that you see. And she took this picture with her phone in an art gallery, just like that, and sent me this. Now, since then, I've done this 25 more times, and I'll show you some examples. And I uploaded it. And what Mid Journey does, it's a feature called Describe. You go /describe, and you just drop the image that you want to recreate into this box. And what it's going to do, it's not going to steal that image. What it's going to do, see, I can close that back out now. Oh, crap. I can't see how to close it out. I might have to load something in there just oh, let's load this in. I made this earlier today, so we'll load that in and see how that. So put me all the way to the bottom. Give me 1 second, guys. I got to come back up here. You can see that I use this an absolute ton in our business. almost too much. In fact, I think I spend a little too much time at it. Give me a second. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so I uploaded it, and look at this. The first version that it pops out for me is this. It starts creating this art for me. The next version is this. The next version is this. This is all sellable art, guys. You could sell this as fine art if you wanted to, and it's yours. You're only being inspired by the original art. So if you're worried about like, oh, is that copyright? No, it's not. It's no more of a copyright than you going to an art gallery, looking at 4 or 5 pieces of art, coming back with a paintbrush and painting your own. It's totally a variation, right? Again, back to interior design. So I started putting in some, I love this artist, Leroy Neiman. So I started putting in some Leroy Neiman art after I found out how to do this, and it created better art. So this is an original Leroy Neiman Kentucky Derby, right? When I uploaded that, here's the first variation I got back. Just beautiful work, right? This one I thought was incredibly good. The top right was really, really, really good. You can see I upscale some of those. And I stayed on this for a while trying to figure out how to make this better. I found a painting of Willie Nelson. I took a picture of this painting of Willie Nelson, uploaded it. And look, it gave me these variations back. And by the way, I looked at this. I'm not a lawyer, so don't take my legal advice for anything. But I looked this up, and when you take a celebrity's likeness and you make an artist rendering of it that doesn't come from a photograph, that you're not painting over the top of a photograph, it's actually your original art. So that's my understanding of the law. Now, I could be wrong, and I'm not a lawyer, but if you look at Andy Warhol painted photos of Marilyn Monroe and all those things, it's held up in court that it's original art. So I love Willie, so I made this, Willie poster to use at home, right? This one was really interesting. I was in Miami last week, and in Miami, there's a lot of street art, like the walls are painted. So if you'll notice here, I was sitting in a cafe and I just took a picture of the wall behind me. And half the wall was this. There was another half I'll show you in a second. I took this picture. I thought it was kind of cool. And I uploaded it. I did all this on my phone. I didn't even have a computer with me. I took this picture. I opened up Discord on my phone and said, I used the describe feature and uploaded this image. And then it started giving me back art. And some of this art was pretty good. Some of it was not so good. What was really cool though, like I liked these, were pretty cool. The second half turned out better. So this was the other half of the wall. I took this photo here of this French horn player. Same thing, uploaded it, and look at what it gave me. These images are absolutely stunning. Just beautiful stuff. I could see these images absolutely selling in an art gallery in New Orleans for sure. Not all of them were perfect, but a lot of them were. This was a Cuban street scene. But what's cool, I didn't even do this, but we can do it. I'll show you. Let's pick one of these we really like. I like the top left pretty well. And I like the top left here too. So I'm going to pick that top left image and I'm going to upscale that, and we'll see it at the bottom of our channel in a minute. So you can see this is just a Cuban street, back to more horses. Oh, this was fun. So for our dog line, we want to offer jewelry. So I just put in French Bulldog gold necklace. Look at this to the bottom right. That was designed in less than 30 seconds on Mid Journey. And you can see I upscale that. I can send it over to my factory in China. They're going to make these for around $1.10 each. $1.10 each. We can sell those to French Bulldog lovers for $50 to $100. Easy peasy. We're making stuff for tennis. This is a really interesting experiment. You don't have to be limited to stuff that actually exists. So check this out. I decided I was going to do some Formula One. I tried some football stuff, all cool looking, right? But the Formula One's coming to Las Vegas, but it's never been in Las Vegas before. People are going to spend a whole lot of money on Formula One stuff while they're here. This is more fishing stuff. I'll just scroll through this. More horse stuff. It's a mix up in here. But check this out. Let me find this real quick. Slash, right? I know we got some Slash fans out there. If you love Slash, say something in the chat. Stevie Ray Vaughan. So these are really cool pieces. My man Al Pacino, which I know is Chad's favorite. Old Blue Eyes. This one came out beautiful. The Sinatra came out really beautiful. But so we've got Formula One coming to Las Vegas, but Formula One's never been here before. So there are no images of Formula One in Las Vegas, but there don't have to be. I'll show you in a minute. We just invented them. This was Golden Retriever. The beautiful background, beautiful images. We're using this for some of the blankets that we're printing. But I'll show you the Formula One in a second. It's really cool. So I asked the chat to show me Formula One racing on the Las Vegas Strip. And it actually was able to do it. Look at this. It took Formula One cars and put them on the Las Vegas Strip. We can sell that art to tourists here in Las Vegas pretty easily when Formula One happens. I've done boxing and sports, but we're going to get out of images for a minute and get down to other stuff, because I know a lot of you guys are not into art, but you can use all this for product design. So we're doing our blankets and we needed family photos. So I didn't want to pay for family photos. So I just put in cute baby boy's first birthday, and we get these images to put on a blanket for mom, right? People laughing, people having fun. More floral designs for blankets, more mascots, coins. This was really fun. I saw this piece of art in a catalog to put in my office. This is feather art. This was $850. It was nicely framed. I pulled that image straight off of a website, uploaded it here, and these are some of the variations of art, actually much better looking, that this gave me. These are yacht photos that we took, a bunch of other stuff, football icons. Today, and I'm going to show you some cool web stuff in just a second too. So, yeah, this was a piece of art I ended up using was going to use for the office. And these are the variations that it gave me. I think you understand how that works now. Does everybody understand how the upscaling works, how variations work, and how describe works? If you type in the chat, if you don't understand it or you don't get it, you need me to clarify something there or show that again, I'm happy to do it. Just let me know what works for you. So today, literally an hour ago, Chad and I went to lunch, and there's this old restaurant we go to that has old oil paintings all over the wall. And this was an oil painting of a ship that I took with my phone, sitting at lunch. And while I was at lunch, just hit describe on Mid Journey, and look at the art that this thing produced from that picture on the wall in the old dumpy restaurant. The art is just, the craziness is the art is almost always just better, right? From your phone. That was all done on my phone. How long did that whole process take, Chad? 1 minute, 2 minutes to get 12 variations of that art. Okay, I'm going to come back to this and show you this in a second. And I'm going to show you some web design, but I'm not going to show you this last part yet. I'm going to go over now, and we're going to go to, let me see, where do we go next? We're going to go to garden season, and we're going to go to ChatGPT. Now, I'm kind of jerking you out of images because the best way to prompt your images, the very best way to prompt your images is to ask GPT to create the prompts. So once I've got an image that I like, I can go either way. I can start with an image or I can start with a profile. You do it either way. The first one of these images that I created was, I wanted a fictional writer. So I want to create a fictional writer to write articles for me. Do you understand? So I asked ChatGPT. And this was using version 3.5 before 4.0 came out. 4.0 is way better. Yes, I understand. Her name is Susan Wilson. She's a gardening expert and syndicated columnist, over 100 newspapers. She lives in the deep South, Birmingham, Alabama. Learned to write in the style of Paula Deen and Louis Grizzard. She's funny, witty, and sarcastic. She writes at a 5th grade level because that's the level people read the most. The conversational style. Do you understand? Yes, I understand, right? Susan often tells stories and folklore in her writing. She was raised by her grandmother and grew up, learned how to sustain herself. Do you understand? Yes. So I keep asking, do you understand? and um, her techniques are, she uses a simple technique. She doesn't use chemicals, yada, yada, yada. So then I ask it, can you write me an avatar for Susan? And it takes off and starts writing, right? Susan Wilson, occupation gardening expert, Birmingham, Alabama, 53-year-old. Here's her appearance. Susan has short, shoulder length hair. I didn't tell it that. It has created an appearance for her. This is her general personality. This is her background. This is her gardening philosophy. This is her writing style. So I asked, can you create a bio for Susan to use the bottom of her articles? And of course it does. And then I ask it to rewrite this mushroom article at a 5th grade level, right? And she starts writing, she starts writing and said, hey, y'all, Susan here. I'm a gardening expert. Did you know I love to grow mushrooms? That's right. I'm a fun guy to be around. It made up a mushroom joke because I said that she was humorous and had a Southern accent. How cool is that? And it starts writing. So I ask it to expand to answer every question. Let me show you a trick that I use when writing articles. I go to Google and I try how to grow mushrooms. And I look at these people ask, and I start expanding these, right? And every time you open one of these, you get more of them that open. So I'll open these until I have about 20 questions, right? And then I just grab them like this, and I drop them into Mid Journey. I drop them into ChatGPT, and crap! I hope I didn't break anything. I drop them into ChatGPT. Hold on. No, I could not have broken that. Please say that I didn't. Oh no. Hold on. I think I'm still okay. I might have just blocked the whole thing out. See if I kicked everybody out just then. I really hope that I didn't. Are you guys still with me? Are we okay? We are? Gosh, I don't know how. Okay. Well, okay. Well, I was trying to, but one of the things that I did, I'll go back to that in just a second. Let me see. I don't know why. I don't know where that page went. The tabs that I just had open on Chrome just disappeared. Oh, there they are. Okay, cool. So I grab those and then I drop them back over and say, be sure you answer all of these questions in the article. Do you understand? Yes. And then here it goes. I want you to write the article on how to grow mushrooms that includes a supply list, step-by-step process, and answers to the questions you listed. So all of this stuff, this is a supply list you're going to need. Here are the questions that need to be answered. And then I ask it to create a Mid Journey prompt to produce an image for Susan. All right. So here we go. And she starts writing that whole article. And I have it rewrite as Susan over and over again until I get the article that I really, really like. And once I've done this, now I've got the bio of Susan forever. I don't ever have to recreate that. So let me show you something really cool. So over here, if I can get to these tabs are driving me crazy, guys. Bear with my lack of technical ability, if you don't mind. Okay, so what I did, this is pretty cool. So when I was done with all that, one of the things I did do that I don't show there, I did it in a different tab. When I created Susan's final profile, I went back and asked ChatGPT, now that you're done with Susan's profile, what else would people want to know about Susan in order to bond with her better? And it said, oh, they're going to want to know what her kids' names are, what they're doing now, if she lives with her husband, if she's divorced, single, yada, 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 all those things. So I went back and filled all that in. So she became much more interesting. So the next thing I did, I decided to create a document for our web developers. And if you want to make beautiful websites, this is how you do it. So Garden Season is our gardening site. It's on WordPress. We use a theme called Affiliate. And I actually went in and asked ChatGPT, give me the hex codes for a 6-color palette for a website about gardening. And these are the colors that ChatGPT chose for the website. Now, the logo we did have produced by our artists on our team, but then I entered our top competitors. I said, here are my top 10 competitors in the gardening space. I want you to read through their websites and create me the perfect navigation silo to have the very best gardening website anywhere on the internet. And look at this. I want a 4x4 silo. So that means 4x4x4 means no more than 4 main categories, 4 subcategories under each, and 4 subcategories under them at the most, right? And look at this. Plant care, garden design, gardening tools, and organic gardening are the 4 primary categories. And look, it created all this within a matter of a few seconds. It was insanely fast. And you can see here, this is like the best navigational hierarchy you could have for a website, which is really, really important to SEO and to Google. Is everybody keeping up? Everybody cool? Anybody stuck? Any questions so far? No questions? Wow. Okay. Next, I ask it to create home pages, right? I wanted to have, the keywords that are used on the home pages. Give me the top 50 keywords my competitors are using. So now I've got a keywords list to follow. And then I wanted to create my writer profile. So here's my writer profile: Susan Wilson, occupation, appearance, personality, philosophy, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then I took this over. Now I'm going to show you this and pay close attention to this because it's important. I took the information it gave me about Susan and I put it in the Mid Journey and I had it create me an actual image of Susan. So Susan could come to life as a person. Now I did this about 6 weeks ago. And this was the image that was created for Susan, right? And then I had it write that article. This is what that final article came out looking like. It's fantastic. It's just kick butt article. Probably the best article on mushroom growing on the web, right? But check this out. Since then, Mid Journey has really upgraded. So look at this. I went in a few minutes ago and I entered the same description of Susan again. And look at what I got now. Look at how much more photorealistic the Mid Journey images are than they were. It's just crazy different, right? It gave me a bunch of different variations. So one of the reasons I like a smiling image, I'll show you something cool. So I don't know that you want to use this yet. It's a little bit freaky. By the way, I could go here. So I like her, right? So let's go to the web and let's see who else has created somebody that looks kind of like her. I might like one of them better. So if I do, if I find that I like, look at this muscle chick. Wow. If I find that I like one of these better, she's pretty cool looking lady, right? I could go just grab this prompt, copy, come back over here. Now, when I use this, it's not going to come out exactly like the image that they just gave me, but I'm going to go here and do imagine, prompt, paste. What am I doing wrong? Chad, what am I doing wrong? I'm sure I'm doing something wrong. Okay, there we go. I know, by the way, I know that my average audience is 55 years old and female, by the way. That's one of the reasons I chose that age, right? Wow, I don't know why that prompt's not working. Yeah, 1 second. Let me. That'll work. A second. Yeah, what's the question? We got a question. While I'm doing this, I'll answer a question.
Tim Brown saying, how do you get ChatGPT to browse the URLs? When I do that, it says it can't browse the internet.
It absolutely can. What I would suggest that you do, because I browse it's never failed me, and other people have said they can't do it. I would uninstall ChatGPT and reinstall it because it absolutely works for me every time I do it. But I do it at the end of the prompt. I don't ever start with it. So I'll do my prompt. I'll show you in a second a way I would do it. So this is going to give me that lady sitting on a porch thing.
Susie's asking if you can repeat the prompt to create the silo structure.
Yes. Well, what you have to do is give it examples. So I'll show you. We'll just create one real quick. What's he want the site for? Ask him a subject matter.
Susie.
What is it for? Is there a subject of the site? Like you want the authoritative website about what? So here's I put in that prompt and it gave me these ladies. So some really good, but look how photorealistic they're getting. It's pretty frightening, man, how real these things are. Look at that. Financial literacy. Okay, cool. So what I would do, let me show you how I would go about doing that if that were me. By the way, so remember I uploaded back here, I uploaded the bull. So it's giving me 4 different variations of the bull. So I'm just going to hit 1. This is the picture I uploaded, remember? 2, 3. And let's just get 3 variations. I have no idea. I didn't even read the prompts. I don't even have to read the prompts. You don't have to write prompts. You don't have to read them. You just upload an image and let this thing get to work. And you can see it's already producing bull images for me.
Did you show how you can grab other people's images too?
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't do that. I'll tell you, I wouldn't do that. People, Chad said, somebody asked, can I use other people's images when we find them? And I'll show you what I would do and I'll show you what I wouldn't do.
That's not what I meant. I meant when you generate it and it shows you the other generations. Did you show that? Other people's generations?
Yeah, I did show it already, but I'll show again that'll be a good example. So I uploaded that image and so it's given me these things back. And man, some of these, like this one looks really awesome. This top right looks really, really awesome. This one looks really awesome. So let's say, for instance, I know what Chad's saying now, I think, but I'm coming back to your question, Tim. I haven't forgotten you about the silo. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So we're going to upgrade number 3. We like number 3 the best, let's say. So we're upgrading number 3. Now we're going to go see it on the web. And if I wanted to print number 3, this is where you're going to grab the highest resolution to save as, and make sure you save it as a JPEG. So bull 5.jpg. If you save it natively, it does that weird WMEP thing and you can't use it very well. So I'm going to use JPEG. But here it's going to show me other people's designs that are similar. Like that's bad. That's bad to the bone right there. That's way better than my design, right? Now, could you just grab that and use it? Maybe. But the truth is, whoever prompted that to create that, that's actually theirs now. So if you did that, you could potentially get in trouble. The odds are very, very strong against that, but you could. But what you can do, see, like this one's really super cool. This one's super cool. This one's super cool. These are all most of these are really, really good images. Some of them way better than the image that we used. But what you can do is see, like this is hyper photorealistic, middle of the race, dark blue rainstorm, inspirational image, golden particles. This one's kind of weird. But if you like any of these, I wouldn't take the image itself. I would either pull that image to the side and re-upload it for it to create variations in the describe feature, or I would just grab that prompt. Because if you, I would grab that prompt. And I grab it right there. And I'll show you a couple of advanced features in I could show you more advanced features in how to get chaos and perspective and all that. But I won't do that right now. It's gonna take too much time. But you could grab that prompt and then use that prompt of that one that you liked. Just go back and reprompt with the prompt of the image that you liked the best, right? Let's see if I can cut that there. Yeah. And I'm going to basically always go here at the end and do version 5, version V space 5, or version 5. Oh, that's what I was going to show you guys. We did version 5 here. I'll show you in a second. We're going to do version 5.1 because we've just released a new version of Mid Journey called version 5.1. So we'll grab this same prompt. This is always kind of fun. And we did version 5 right now that's working. So let's see how much different version 5.1 is. So we'll do here dash 5.1. Chances are the version 5.1 is going to be better looking. We'll see. But you can see what from the one we grabbed earlier, these are some really cool variations on that. So you can see these were the variations of the image that we pulled before in version 5.0. But in a second, we're going to have it pull version 5.1. See, it's waiting to start. Okay, let's go over while that's working. We'll go back and look at these in a second. But while that's working, we'll do the silo. So what I did, I grabbed these images right here. Copy. I don't want to cut them. Yeah. Edit. Copy. Yeah. And I'm going to go over back to ChatGPT. No, I already have this open in the file somewhere. Go to version 4 and say, I want to build a silo structure for my website. Do you understand? So it understands that you're trying to get an SEO structure that really works, and it's reading it back to you. I love the do you understand? So now it's going to give me a guide on that, which I really don't need. So I'm going to stop generating that. And I'm going to type here are my 10 biggest competitors. Paste those in. Stop that again. Please analyze the above sites and create the best possible for my 4 site structure. For my website, garden season, sorry. So it's analyzed the above sites and it's taking the best out of them and creating me this site structure. Now, this site structure is different than the one I got earlier because I was using version 3.5. And plus, I asked the prompt in a slightly different order. But it's read all those other site structures so far, and it created that for me based on that. So when I go to Gardening Expert, let me show you. You asked another question earlier. So let's see growing roses. I haven't done anything on growing roses. So Jesus, I agree to everything. So I'm going to grab this and go to my gardening expert, Susan, over here. And I'm going to say, please have Susan rewrite the following article in her voice, approximately 1,000 words long, with supply lists and step-by-step instruction. Now, if you want to have some fun, and it'll give you a much better result, start with a brief story, and end a big lesson, end with a big lesson, and end with a big lesson and a proverb to remember the lesson I. Here is the original URL article, colon, and then I drop in the URL. By the way, it's a good time to tell you guys we're having another AI bot summit. We had the one here. A lot of you guys I know were there. 430 something people were there. We're having another one in Orlando coming up pretty soon, and we're already more than 60% sold out. So if you'd like to come to it, it's at aibotsummit.com. You can go register. We're in pre-registration, so it's 75% off tickets. Last time we sold out, so it's a good time to get in. I'll ask Chad if you would to drop a link into the chat. So here it goes. Wow, it just told me that it can't access that. Okay, hold on a second. I'll make this work because I've done this 1,000 times. A lot of times what I'll do is just ask it again. I've never had it happen. Of course, I get on here. Please. Let's see. This has never, ever happened to me, I swear. Wow, that's giving me a hard time. Look here. You can see how I did it. Let me see if I can get the same command. Oh, here we go. Please have Susan rewrite the following article at 5th grade level. So it says, can you provide the URL? And I did. Let's grab that. And then it rewrote it right away. So let me see what it says here. I'm going to try that again. Every now and then it can be a little stubborn. This has actually never happened to me. That's what guys always say, right? Wow, it's acting very different. Let's go back and try this in, am I in version 3.5? Oh, I'm in version 3.5. Let me try this in version 4.0. Okay, hold on. We'll try this again. Give me just a second. Let's just do it as a new chat. It won't know Susan, but give me 1 second, guys. Please rewrite the following article as a gardening expert from the South with a great sense of humor. There you go. So there it's taken off. So you can see that it's 4.0 does it better than 3.5 does. But see there, it's like, well, howdy, my green thumb compatriots. Gather around old Clem, your trusty Southern gardening guru, and take a wild ride through. It's a little too much, right? If you had created a profile for the writer, it would have been a whole lot better. So, but you can see that it's clearly reading the article and then rewriting the article with all this Southern slang and poppycock and stuff. And this is going to come out as, I promise you, when you run this through the tester, it's going to come out as 60 or 70% human written. So let me see, what else was I going to show you guys? It's creating a great article, really easy, really fun to read. So we do a lot of these on financial experts. Like I've got all these financial experts like Jim Cramer and all that write for me. Let me see, dividend stock selection. One of the things, by the way, just generate 500. Yeah, so this was a cool experiment. How could the following prompt be rewritten to create a text less detectable by AI generated content? Write a 500-word article in style of Jim Cramer focusing on how to pick dividend stocks to invest using conventional tone, incorporating funny stories, colloquialisms, and analogs. So, and it just kicked off, ladies and gentlemen, step right up and gather around. I'm going to take a wild ride through the dividend stock. So you can tell it's Kramer, right? So anyway, that's kind of the way that works. Let me see. What else was I going to show you guys today? I hope you really enjoyed the Mid Journey stuff. I'm really hung up on Mid Journey right now. Yeah.
This is a good one.
Yeah.
Is there a way to get past the 25 message limit every 3 hours with 4.0, or do we need to do it with the API?
You got to do it with the API. It's the only way to get it. You got to do it with the API. And a lot of people think they don't have the API, but they do have it. The 4.0 API is in your chat, not in your normal API string. It doesn't work. You can use it, but you have to use it. You still have to have an API key to use it. Yeah. It's Typing Mind. It's called Typing Mind. So check this out. Remember, that sounds like boy, that was redneck, wasn't it? So let's pick our gardening expert here, and we want one that's smiling. So we're going to pick this lady. We're going to upgrade number 2. I think we did already. And I'm going to grab her image, right? And we're going to save her as a JPEG, I hope. PNG, that's cool. We'll put her in the desktop. Yeah. We're going to save her. So check this out. So we save that lady. So I'm over now in DID. So this D-ID, and I'm going to create a new video, right? So if I want to go to her, I can create a new video, and her name is, I didn't give her a name, so she's under my name. There we go. We're going to pull her in. And we can go here, and either we can upload an audio, which really works so much better if you record the audio or have what's the big voice one, Chad? 11 Labs do the audio. These guys don't do as great a job with the audio, but they kill it with video. So watch this. Hey, y'all. Can't wait to show you all my gardening skills today. Just going to stop there. So it'll generate that script. We got language, we got voices. Let's see. And, oh, I might be out of credits. Please select a voice. Okay. It's not letting me. That's weird. Of course, you're going to live demo, man. Everything goes wrong on a live demo. Every single time. Oh, I had to do the language first. That makes sense. Because she could be in Chinese. Let's make her Canadian. They're nicer than us. And we'll make her Clara's voice. And now we can generate. So we're going to generate this video. This is how easy this is. Everybody would think this would be hard. Oh, crap. I'm out of credits. I have to upgrade. I'll select the free plan anyway. Maybe it'll give me a couple more credits. I got a feeling it's not gonna. It's not gonna, damn it. Okay, I'll show you one I created before. So remember the blonde lady, the beauty lady that we had? You can kind of see. Yeah, these are pretty cool. Probably shouldn't have played that one. Let's see. Yeah. So the reason I like using the models that have teeth is because if the AI has to render, hey, only on my stuff, right? You guys get entertainment value here beyond your dollar paid. Since you didn't pay anything, you really came out. So is everybody? I guess nobody noticed that, right? Okay, good. Oh, good. Really? I'll do anything for a 20. That was my I'll do anything for a 20 lady. So when you can they hear audio now? Oh, thank God. All right. So okay. When you're going to use DID to create a talking head, make sure that you get a smiling photo, because if the AI has to create teeth, it doesn't do a really good job with it. Sometimes you'll get really funky teeth. If there are no teeth there, it has to imagine where they would go. Okay, let me see. What else can I tell you guys today that would help you? She would be a great talking head. I need to upgrade this account. We've got another account. I don't want to buy a third one right now. Let me see. What are questions? Hit me with some questions, guys. I want to answer questions for you guys while I'm here.
Is there a best way to learn effective prompts besides trial and error?
Oh, yeah. That's what I was going to show you. So if you can see my screen right now, this is prompt based. So there's a bunch of ways to learn rather than trial and error. One of the easiest ways to learn is to go in the public channels and just watch people. If you go into Mid Journey, let's go back to Mid Journey real quick. And down here is the actual Mid Journey channel, right? You see to the left. When you go in here, they have all these different threads here that you can work in. But if you go to prompt FAQs or prompt chat, if you go to their prompt chat, people are constantly talking about how they achieved certain looks, right? So there's always a discussion in here about how to achieve all kinds of different looks, how they did it, what they, the philosophy behind it. But also, you can just go here, version 5 showcase. So these are people who, you open this in the browser, all right, and you can kind of see, sometimes it'll show you what they did, like the dogs playing poker one. you can see the different prompting. But these prompts are really, really basic in here right now. My biggest secret for this is just watching other people's prompts go by in the channels. So if you just hit general one, which is usually the busiest one, you'll see so many prompts go by in here. If you're just kind of bored, you can watch. You'll just wait until you see really cool stuff being created, and you're able to, like, magical cat Y2K style, or person use person from, and this is an image. You can tell that this is their uploaded image, right? That guy wanted to make something of himself, so he used this prompt. Use person from this image to make him similar to Lord Farquaad, I guess it is, or whatever. But you can see, like, this is a really cool prompt if you wanted that kind of image. This is an interior design, like realistic wedding reception. I could use this right now on one of my websites. And they specify the restaurant in the city, and look how beautiful this is. Just absolutely stunning, right? So that's one great way. But the real cheat, the biggest cheat of all this is right here. And if I can get back to it. Well, crap, man. I've had a hell of a day today with this. There we go. So prompt base is my favorite thing in the world. So you can go to prompt base and really, like, what kind of prompt would somebody like? Give me an idea of a really high quality prompt that you would want a prompt of. What would it be? Who said somebody tell me in chat something they want a high quality prompt of? By the way, I'm going to keep doing these lives every week for the people who are registered for the event. So I want you guys to start getting better and better and better at all this before you even get to the event. So if you want to get these private tutorials every week between now and the event time, go register now if you can. What's that? What you got?
An F4U Corsair fighter plane.
So I'm going to say just planes, airplanes. But because you can put in the model probably.
What's a fighter plane?
Okay, so look at this. Airline jet bomber. So it's a $10 prompt. But if you get this prompt, you can likely put in any kind of, see that? You can likely put in the variable of the model of the plane, and it'll create you the prompt. I don't want to buy this because it's $10. That's a really expensive one. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, here's one for fighter jets for $4. It's more in my budget. Let me say plane fighter jet photos. So these are pretty good. And the great thing is, these people are spending hours and hours and hours figuring out how to prompt these things, right? And you get to go in for $4. Yeah, look, the MiG-29, the Fulcrum, yada, yada, yada. So I'll buy this prompt while we're here. I don't need a fighter jet prompt, but since I ask, I'll spend my $4 for you guys. And we'll buy this prompt just to show you how it works. Okay, and then I'll go into my account. So there we go. This is my account. And you can see, like right here, you can put in the aircraft type. So I'm going to grab the prompt right here. And let's go back over to Mid Journey. And we'll /imagine. And we'll drop in the prompt. Now, wherever there's a bracket, we need to change something. So tell me the name of the plane, the type of plane. What is it?
F4U Corsair.
F4U.
Corsair.
F, the number 4, and U, Corsair. C-O-R.
C-O-R-S-A-I-R.
S-A-I-R. Okay. Let's put it at close up. Um, let's put it in Las Vegas. Let's put it flying over Las Vegas and rolling. Let's make it roll. I don't know if that's going to work or not because this was a fighter plane prompt. I didn't realize is the Corsair is not a fighter plane. I don't think, is it? Is it? Okay. So let's see what it gives us. It'll probably be pretty good because this is somebody who's probably spent hours and hours and hours figuring out how to make really great images of airplanes, and they sell their prompt, to kind of help offset their time. Oh, I did this in a stupid, I did this in a public channel. I wish I hadn't done that. It's going to eat up a lot of time to find it.
Do they even know you can have private channels?
I showed them how to set up a private channel right at the very beginning. Yeah. Oh, God. Golly Moses. It's a lot of crap to go through.
You just go through the private one.
I'll just go to the private one and redo it. Yeah, that's a good idea. Now I have to go back and. Oh, I do want to show you the resize feature real quick in a minute. Hold on. I'll do this again. You're going to have to spell that for me again, Chad. Okay, so we'll go to my private channel. So Perry Images. I just started a new channel today because that one was getting crowded. So we'll go here and I'm going to drop this in again. F4U, right? F4U, Corsair. Okay. Let's do 500 meters. 500 meters distance. Mountains of Colorado. On mountains. Did I spell Colorado right? Is there an A in Colorado or is it Colorado? Yep. Flying. So yeah, there we go. And we'll do version 5.1. And there we go. So we're off. So let's see what that produces for us. So almost everything you're looking for, there's already really great prompts designed for it on Prompt Base. And if you can just go in there and look at what's popular. If you don't want some random ideas, but if you're wanting really photorealistic stuff, let's see what this gives us. You never know because you see the fuzziness and you're like, I don't know if that's. There you go. You can have him say if this looks like a Corsair or not. I don't know what a Corsair looks like. I couldn't tell you. But I bet it's pretty accurate. Okay. So there's our Corsair images. Ask them which one they want to upscale. 1, 2, 3, or 4. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3, and this is 4. Which one you want to upscale? 1. Okay. I'm going to show you another trick too. Open in browser. Okay, hold on. So we're going to upscale 1. Now we could do variations of any of these if we wanted. If we didn't like any of these, by the way, you just hit this button right here and it's going to create you 4 more random images. So that'll be completely different. But there's number 1. So now we'll open it in the browser. And I'm going to show you something you can do with this at the end too. So does that look pretty good? Does that look like the way that it should look? You can ask him. It doesn't? Okay. It's shaking his head no. Okay. Well, I don't know what a Corsair is supposed to look like. So you can see, I don't know if any of these do, but you can see here, these are what other people have created that is supposedly looks like this, right? I don't know which one looks like what, but that one looks super cool. I don't know if it's right or not, but it looks super cool. And you can grab other prompts out of here and start working with those. But one of the things I really like that I just learned how to do, I'll show you a really cool trick I just learned. I wish one of these looked like what you wanted to make it a more fun experiment, but they look very similar to not be a Corsair, but
He says it's close, but the wings are wrong.
well, you know why? Because he's probably a pilot and they're anal. Anyway, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, I'm really not kidding. Pilots are really anal. I'm just kidding. Okay, so watch this. I'm going to call it a plane. It is indeed a plane, so I'll call it a plane.
He says it looks like Corsair had a baby with a Hellcat.
There you go. Well, that's what I was thinking too. Okay, so which would be cool. So now you've invented your own airplane. How cool are you? You're like Howard Hughes, only different. So I'm going to save this. Remember, I told you don't save this native because I saved it as plain and it put that web P on it, which sucks. So I'm going to save this as a JPEG. Of course he is. You know, they bitch about everything. I love them. There's, by the way, if there are any ladies on here, a girl told me one time, she said, you know what it's like to go on a date with a pilot? He says, after 30 minutes, you haven't said a word and he's been talking the whole time. And at the end, he says, okay, enough about me. Let's talk about airplanes. Anyway, okay. So we've got a picture of our plane. So here's the thing you got to keep in mind about this. These are high resolution images, but they're not ultimately high resolution images. They're really good images, but if you start zooming in enough, it takes a while, but see how you're going to get pixelization in here? This is about a 2000 by 2000 image, which for web is always going to be fine. For almost anything, it's going to be fine. And for printing even a big poster, it's going to be fine. But if you want to print a blanket like we print, or you want to print really fine art, you're going to want to upscale that. So there's a new service. I should have affiliate links to all this crap and tell you guys to go buy it, and I could make beer money, but I don't have that. So, but there's a new service called, it's a piece of software you download. It's called On One. It's called On One. So we use this in our print business. I'm going to show you some physical things that we print out here that we've been printing lately with some of the designs you saw me make. So open photos. So we're going to open plane one. If it opens correctly. Sometimes these don't open correctly. I have to pull them into a graphics program. We'll see. I might have to pull in a graphics program and export it as a JPEG. I think I'm going to have to. So I'll do that quick while we're waiting. If I'm lucky, this just locks up my computer. That'd be cool. The general idea, I'll show you in a second if this stops, is there it goes. It didn't take that image because, okay, so what you usually have to do with this is open a graphics program. Oh, geez, come on, man. Shutting down, stopping task manager. That's great. Give me just a second. So what this program does, this On One, it's a fantastic program. So you can upload your photo in there and it's going to take AI and read through that photo and allow you to scale it up 600 times higher resolution. So when you get ready to go print that, if you wanted to make a billboard out of this thing, you could once that's done. So let me see if it's finished yet. I'm just pulling this into this is a stupid thing that I'm having to even do this, but I don't use Photoshop because I'm too dumb to know how to use it. So Dad would say, "Don't you use Photoshop?" He'd be right, but I'm not that smart. So I use this Affinity Designer. It's dirt cheap. So I'm going to create a new document, and I'll pull this into my. I'm going to make a 2000. Oh no, that's the size I need right there. So I'm going to create a new document. I'm going to pull in, or better yet, I'll just open plain.jpg. Okay, there's the original photo. So you can see the original size of this is, it usually tells me, oh, I'm just changing the JPEG right now. Hold on. So export, I want this to be a JPEG now, and I'm going to call it Hellcat Baby. Hellcat Baby desktop, right? So it's going to say this. Now the other program will work fine. You just need a genuine JPEG. So I'm going to go to on one. You guys are very patient. Thank you. There we go. The software works great if you upload the right image to it. But I'm going to drag this over, open a photo, and we want Hellcat. And there it is. Okay, so you can see that this image is currently 1024,024. It's 3.4 inches wide, right? So I want to print this in a 20-inch square, right? So I need it to be way higher resolution. Follow? So I'm going to go here and export now. File, export. And I'm going to have it export as a JPEG. I want this to be super high quality. And now it's 20 inches wide. So it has to be much higher resolution. So we're going to export that image. It's going to create a new Hellcat image. It'll take it about 7 seconds. Oh, I told it to go into high res. So I've got a folder for high res. Now, let's drag this image. We'll change the name because it needs to be different. Well, we can open them up. So this was the original image, right? Remember when we zoomed in and we started seeing the pixelization around the edges? See that? Now let's go to this image that we just created here, and we're going to open it the same way. And when we zoom in here, notice that we don't have that. That image is sharp as a razor, right? Up to a much higher zoom in density. So you can create, this may help even an Ori if he doesn't know about that yet. He's to create the highest resolution imagery that you possibly can. So we do that because we print this really big stuff. I'm going to ask Chad in a second to show you some of the stuff that we're printing right now. I'm going to go over to the, let me see where I'm at now. Okay, cool. So I think we can go to, I can move this off, and you guys, can you guys just see me now? Is that right? Hopefully that's the case. Chad, can they just see me now and hear me? Okay. I want to show them some of that stuff. Yeah. Can they hear me and see me okay, everybody? Yeah. All right, groovy. So they should just see my picture now. There shouldn't be a screen. Is that correct? Okay, groovy. So yeah, let me show you some of the stuff we're printing right now. So we take this imagery, you know, we have this big print factory out back, and we take this imagery and we make things with it. Can you hand me some of that stuff? So the first thing, that Leroy Neiman style art that I did, we printed it on reverse plexiglass. Oh, there we go. and it creates art that looks like this. And you can, if you could see this up close, you could see that it's just absolutely stunning, right? But we took this same image and did this, and then we did the same image on a blanket. You gotta have Chase run up and grab that big canvas. Oh, it's there. So here's the same horse on a blanket. So we're printing blankets now. Same image, right? You can't see it very well because I'm too close up. But this is a mink soft blanket that we're using. And just to show you that graphics expander. Oh, careful, kiddo. Wait. You're gonna break your neck. It's really awesome. Look at this. This is a full size. This is a 4 foot wide by 5 foot tall. So you can see it's taller than me. Now it's three. I think it's 3 by 4. Canvas, wrapped canvas that we do here. We print all these here, and we can do all this art now that we could never do. And whoever said earlier that they were, they could draw stick men, you can now seriously be an amazing artist. And all the stuff you can sell with print on demand, you can sell on Printful, you can sell on Zazzle, Cafe Press, and all that. Create just unlimited amounts of amazing designs. We generate tons of t-shirt transfers and characters. Do we have that t-shirt transfer we just did for that electrical company? It was up on the wall. We create mascots for these different companies that we create t-shirt transfers for. One of the things I didn't show you that Mid Journey does, watch this real quick. This is kind of fun. / imagine landing page for military association. Yeah. So, yeah, you can see here. Oh, I'm not sharing anymore. Hold on. Yeah, like we created this mascot for this electrical company here out of Mid Journey, and we make t-shirts for them now. I'll share screen again real quick and show you how we. I'll share screen real quick and show you guys in Mid Journey how we create landing page. Can you guys see my Mid Journey okay right now? If you can, say yes. So you can see this is not a usable website, right? But for getting inspiration for a website, look how cool this is. So I've got 4 different designs right now here for my military association. So we're creating a new military association right now. So this will give me inspiration. If I like these, that's great. If I don't like them, I can create 4 more, or I can be way more specific, or I can actually go over to Prompt Base and probably get landing page. You can probably get landing page prompts that create way better landing pages by being more advanced in the prompting. And you can see like this one. Look at that. This one creates amazing landing pages, and it's $5. So we could buy this prompt for $5 that creates these incredible landing pages in just a matter of a few minutes. Now, are these going to be usable for you? Are they going to work as a website? Absolutely not. But you can break out these components and have a designer use them, or the designer at least can take inspiration from them, right? That's a big deal. Let me see. I'm going to remove this out. By the way, you can see here that transfer when it went on a shirt looks really cool. Dave's very happy with his shirts, and he gave them to all of his employees, and he thinks that's really cool. So these are just certain things you can do: jewelry design, physical products design, packaging designs, website mock-ups, social media images, placards for Pinterest. I haven't even tried this yet, but I'm just gonna go imagine Pinterest image for Mexican cornbread.
He's saying there's a site that will take your Mid Journey lander and create the actual site. Can you answer what that is?
Yeah, there's a site that'll take your Mid Journey landing page and build a site from it. Yeah, can you tell us what that is? Will you contribute that to us? I'll tell you that's definitely coming. Um, there's already a couple like durable.com will do some of that. We are at the very, very, very beginning of all of this stuff. And when you guys start realizing what you can do, um, you're gonna just absolutely kill it. You're gonna absolutely kill it. Um, let's see how long it takes it to give us that. I'm gonna add that to the stream so you guys can see that screen share in a second. I don't know if can they not hear me now again? Usually when I do that, you can't hear me again. Let's see. Okay, cool. Cancel out of that. And we should have, by the time I find the page again, we should have what we're looking for. Yeah, close that, 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 close that. There you go. And we get back to Discord. Yeah. So look, if you were putting posts up on Pinterest and you had a Mexican cornbread recipe, this could be your Pinterest placard for your Mexican cornbread recipe. It really understands what you're looking for. It's pretty crazy. So you don't have to create that stuff anymore. You can create great Pinterest. You can do great social media posts. You can do YouTube thumbnails. You could probably do the same thing for a YouTube thumbnail and it would know the difference, right? But just let your imagination run wild, create as much stuff as you can, and really get in here and start using these things and come to the event in Orlando. I think you'll have a ball. If you register for the event, I'll do a workshop with you guys every single week, showing you every week what we're learning leading up to the event. You can go to AIBotSummit.com to get on there and get your tickets now at 75% off. It's a pretty great deal, if you ask me. Last time we had people paying up to $2,000 to be in that room. And I'd hate for you guys to have to do that. I'd rather you get in early and get a really great price and help me fill up the room block. That's really my mission. And then we start raising after we fill the room block, we start raising the price because we want to make some money. We don't make any money at all at $500. We lose money at $500 an attendee. So we have to, once we fill up the room block, we can start charging a little money and make a little something. Chad, what else we got in there? What are the questions that we have that I haven't answered? And what would you guys like to learn in the next one of these? I can go into all sorts of stuff. We can talk about animations. We can talk about we can talk about specific third-party applications. We can I can show you how Chad can show you how he uses Airtable and the API to build a 9,500 word website in just a matter of a couple of hours of machine time, or build our newsletters out every day. We're producing 13 to 15 newsletters a day using the OpenAI and Airtable that are going out to now. We just crossed over 1 million active newsletter subscribers this week. So it's been really exciting in the newsletter space. Let us know what you want to learn, and I'm going to do these for free for the people who register for the event every week. So let me know what you want to learn next. Oh, I have no idea who's going to the event. This went out to my general list. I know a lot of you guys, I just recognize the names, came to the original event here in Las Vegas. If you have anything to say about that, by the way, if you thought it sucked, you can say that it sucked. If you thought it was cool, you can say that it's cool. Let people know if you think it's worthwhile for them to come or not. Or if you have something bad to say, you could just leave. I'm joking. Yeah, who's going to? If you already know you're going to Orlando, just say, "Yep, I'm going" in the chat. That'd be cool. What else is going on, guys? What else? What are the questions that we have? What's new?
Questions about Airtable.
Yeah, Chad's the Airtable. I know nothing about Airtable. So if you want Chad to come in and show you how Airtable and AI work together, that could be a really cool workshop. The more of these that Chad does, the happier I am. By the way.
Put our whole business on it.
Yeah, everything we're running. Yeah, the whole business is running on Airtable now. Qasim Islam really got us on Airtable and suggested we do it. He runs his whole agency by Airtable. Airtable is an amazing tool, but it ties into AI so incredibly well. We're able to use a bot to create images. When we created the dog website, we were able to create around I think a 1,700, 3,500 word blog post along with images, and it all did it automatically with Chad's bots and Airtable. It's pretty fascinating what you can do. But I'm telling you guys, you got to make hay while the sun shines. If people are going to learn to use this thing, and the advantage that you have right now is going to fade as more and more people get better and better at this. So I'm trying to get we're working ourselves to death right now, trying to get as much stuff into the marketplace as we possibly can, as much content created, as much content ranked as we can, so that, as more people catch up, we're already on the top of the heap. And I'd really highly suggest that you follow that suggestion. What else we got? Any other questions, Chad?
Just a lot of compliments.
Well, thanks for the compliments. I appreciate it. And a scale of 1 to 10, how do you think this went? Do you like it? Would you want to come back to more of them? And especially at the price of free, it's a pretty good deal, right? Would you like to come back to more of them? What would you like them to be about? Send me any feedback that you got. If you want to reach me for some reason, you can hit me up on Facebook or LinkedIn, and I don't do much Instagram stuff. All I need to. Or comment on YouTube. It would be great if you comment, if you give me your feedback on YouTube here. Did you like it? Did you like this particular live? I've never done a live on YouTube. I think I'm going to start doing more of these, and then we'll post the recordings of the YouTube out afterward. I'm excited about that. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. But anyway, any other questions, comments, thoughts, feelings, or emotions? All right, cool. Well, we'll probably sign out then. Thank you all so much for being here. I'm Perry Belcher. Chad Nicely's off camera right now, but couldn't do any of this without him. I really appreciate him being here, and hope to see you guys real soon. Hope to see you in Orlando. I think it'd be really cool. Go over and get your tickets right now while they're 75 off, and I'll see you in Orlando. All right. Take care, guys. See you.